All right, let's try that again. Hello, everyone. I'm your digital host, Tatyana White. Welcome back to another episode of the 48 Recap, the one-stop shop to catch up on some of the top news stories of the week, including a deadly Marshall County wreck that killed a Huntsville Public Works employee, looking into a 20-year unsolved murder case in Albertville, traffic delays on Memorial Parkway and Bob Wade Lane, a deadly Hartsville shooting, and the remarkable story of a Lawrence County woman who gave birth on a sidewalk. I hope you all are having a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I know I enjoyed some fireworks on a boat last night with some great friends up in Winchester, Tennessee, and it was just truly breathtaking just to see the fireworks over the water. So I hope you all were able to enjoy some fireworks, some good barbecue, grilled food and stuff, and all of the great things for 4th of July festivities. And also, I hope you guys enjoy them throughout the rest of the weekend. And so now let's get into this weekend's recap. One of the top news stories this week was a deadly wreck in Marshall County that killed Huntsville Public Works employee Hank Hornbuckle. State troopers said Public Works Director Chris McNeese was driving the Huntsville city truck in Marshall County. Officials from the Alabama law enforcement agency say Hank Hornbuckle was not using a seatbelt at the time of the crash, and he was ejected from the truck. Officials said that he was pronounced dead on the scene. They also told 48 News that McNeese, along with Public Works employee Donnie Dowdy, were transported to the hospital after being injured in the crash. City Councilman Bill Kling also said that Mayor Tommy Battle has reached out to the families of the 3 Public Works employees. Kling says the city's focus is on the employees and their families after this tragedy.
Assistance is being provided. There's going to be counseling available for city employees, especially those in that department. And again, we care. We want to do as much as we possibly can.
City officials told 48 News that when an employee is involved in an accident in a city vehicle, they assess each incident on a case-by-case basis. And the community of New Hope is in shock and mourning the loss of Hank Hornbuckle, who was the Huntsville city employee killed in that crash. 48's Noah Cowell spoke to his family, and they spoke fondly of the man they loved dearly.
Today, I talked to Hank Hornbuckle's daughters, who say losing him was shocking and devastating, not just for them, but the entire New Hope community. Now, their focus is on coming together and remembering the impact their dad left. We know Hank Hornbuckle as a longtime Huntsville Public Works employee and a candidate for New Hope City Council, but Alexis and McKinley, they know him as their fun and loving dad who impacted everyone around him.
Everybody in New Hope loves him and values him. Everybody knows who he is. And he's just such a fun, cut-up person that everybody loves being around him.
Alexis Hornbuckle, who didn't want her face on camera, says Hank was her role model, someone she could count on since day one. And when the wreck happened yesterday, she was in utter disbelief.
I was in denial. I was saying, this isn't funny. It's not April Fool's Day. You're joking. And then I grabbed my bag, ran out the door, and I just melted on my porch. I just screamed and cried.
They say losing their dad creates a big hole in their house, one that is impossible to fill. But countless family members and friends have reached out to them in the past day, giving them a ray of sunshine in this darkness.
It just allows you to depend on people. That way you don't have to do it all on your own. It doesn't hurt you more than it would have if you were left alone.
Alexis and McKinley say it's hard to know how they'll live every day moving forward without their dad. But in this dark time, they say they're extremely happy to know so many people loved him. There's no current word on the funeral arrangements. Reporting in New Hope, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
And staying in the Sand Mountain area, we shed light on an Albertville murder case that has remained unsolved for 20 years this month. In 2005, Brandy Parker, an expecting mother, was shot in her own car on her way home from work. 48 Savannah Sapp sat down with the lead investigator at the time of this murder. The investigator, who is now the chief of police of New Hope, he hopes new attention on this case will encourage someone to come forward.
Before Butch Carty was the chief of police here in Albertville, he was the lead detective desperate to find answers in the murder of Brandy Parker. When I called to request an interview about this case, he told me I had struck a nerve, adding that even in his decades of law enforcement, this case still haunts him.
I did not know Brandy, but I got to know her as I worked her case.
a case that still puzzles both the community and law enforcement. In July of 2005, Brandy Parker was found dead in her truck on Buchanan Road in Albertville, shot point blank with a shotgun. 20 years later, there's still no one to answer for her death. Chief Carty tells me he spent years tracking down multiple leads that all ran cold.
You know, I often wonder, what did I miss? I feel like I failed a family. I failed Brandy. They're owed answers.
Brandy was 8 months pregnant at the time with her son Brody. Their senseless murder, as Carty calls it, sparked the passage of Brody's Law. With the help of Brandy's family and Attorney General Steve Marshall, who was the district attorney in Marshall County at the time. The law requires an additional murder charge for the killing of a pregnant woman.
Brandy needed somebody to stand up for her, but there's an unborn child that I was standing up for too.
And Carty believes people in the community know who is responsible for Parker's death, and he hopes shedding new light on the case will ultimately bring it to a close.
This family needs answers. I'd like to have the answers. Somebody out there knows the truth, and I really wish they would come forward and talk to us about it.
In Albertville, Savannah Sapp, 48 News, on your side.
In Huntsville, we talked to frustrated drivers about construction causing major traffic delays. The Northern Bypass project on Memorial Parkway at Bob Wade Lane is making progress, but not without inconvenience for lots of drivers. 48's Noah Cowell monitored the traffic scene and talked with some drivers out there.
2 lanes are now open on each side of Memorial Parkway, which is alleviating some rush hour holiday traffic. But earlier today, I saw a mile of standstill traffic, which aggravates some drivers who say they weren't notified ahead of this latest development. Traffic delays have plagued this area the past couple months, but many drivers told me it's been much worse since yesterday morning when a new traffic light was activated. Some say it took them up to 40 minutes longer to get through this stretch.
Oh, it's aggravating, you know. A little bit of heads up would have saved me an hour yesterday because I could have made another route.
Construction caused 1 lane to close on each side of the traffic light, creating major delays outside of rush hour. And the new traffic lights themselves are also causing issues. Construction workers told me they are on a timer because the construction vehicles would interfere with the sensor. I found that the light was staying red for the Memorial Parkway drivers for almost a minute and a half. Some nearby gas stations and businesses have been impacted by this combo of issues.
I think some people are avoiding the area. They're taking the shortcuts that they do know, and so they just won't even come by here. Everybody be careful Monday and Tuesday, because I'm not really sure what to expect at this point.
As Ms. Rawls just alluded to, construction workers say they expect to close 1 lane on each side of Memorial Parkway starting back on Monday after this holiday weekend. The city tells me that they expect to have the construction by the traffic light done by Wednesday, and they encourage anyone who wants to stay updated on roadwork construction to sign up for city alerts. Reporting in Huntsville, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
And there was a deadly shooting on Stage Road in Hartselle Thursday morning. Police identified the victim as 59-year-old Nancy Fox. The suspect in the shooting was identified as 25-year-old Wyatt Young. He was arrested at the scene and charged with capital murder. Young previously worked for Fox at her business. On Friday, Fox's family released a statement to WAFF, remembering her as kind, caring, and someone who would never meet a stranger. Police said an argument of some kind appears to have occurred before the shooting. A funeral for Fox is planned for Sunday. And one Lawrence County woman is sharing her unique story after her newborn made an early entrance to this world. Last week, Mercedes Bolden of Hillsborough had to give birth to her son on a sidewalk. 48's Sarah Grace Kennedy sat down with the mom and shares more on this incredible story.
As soon as we got there, I had to get out on the, I had to get on the ground because the pressure was just, he was coming out of there.
After a 40-minute trip to a pregnancy center, Mercedes Bolden's water broke. Bolden had no time to rush inside.
He was coming out of there. He wasn't waiting on nothing else.
Bolden had to lie down on the ground and give birth right on the sidewalk. Bolden says that as she was giving birth to her son, she was worried that other people would see her giving birth.
Probably heard me screaming. It was definitely a wild experience.
Luckily, it was a quick process. She only had to push twice, and her son, Ivan William Bolden, was born. Bolden looks back at this situation and can't help but laugh.
And then as soon as he came out, I was laughing hysterically because I'm like, no way. And I literally had to FaceTime my mom, and I was laying on the ground, and she was like, what happened? Because, normally when somebody's laying on the ground, they fell and got hurt. She thought I had fell or something. So, and I put the phone on him, and then they all did, my sister and her wife was in the car. They just started busting out laughing. It was crazy.
Wow, that is going to be such a fun story to share with her son when he gets older. Congratulations to the Bolden family on their new addition to their family. And coming up after the break, a sneak peek into news coming up in our evening newscast, a look into some great events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas on this 4th of July weekend. All that and more when we come back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 48 Recap. Some news stories to look out for coming up in our evening newscast. A Limestone County man is accused of raping a child under the age of 10. Authorities identified the suspect as 29-year-old Juan Castro Hernandez from Guatemala. Witnesses informed investigators that Hernandez had been in possession of firearms and had pointed weapons at individuals, including children. Authorities said when investigators and the SWAT team arrived at his home, he attempted to flee the scene, but he was quickly captured and was arrested and charged with first-degree rape. Hernandez was booked into the Limestone County Jail. An Anaya's Law hearing will be scheduled to determine whether bond will be granted. Authorities said ICE has been notified due to Hernandez's immigration status. And a man was killed in a DeKalb County car crash on Friday night. Officials with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency said a single vehicle crash occurred at approximately 11:55 p.m. on Friday, claiming the life of 48-year-old Derek Barkley. Authorities said he was fatally injured when the 2018 Chevrolet Colorado he was driving left the roadway, struck a fence and a utility pole before overturning. Authorities said Barkley was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash and was pronounced dead at the scene. Tune into our evening newscast to hear more details on these stories and many others. And if you are looking for a fun event to check out in the area this 4th of July weekend, you don't want to miss out on the Independence Day celebration at Mid-City District. They are having festivities all weekend long. Today they are having food and drinks at the camp. They will also have shaved ice, bounce houses, face painting, water and lawn games, live music, and even a mullet and mustache contest with some big prizes for the winner. All of these events are happening at the camp in Mid-City right now until 10 p.m. tonight. And tomorrow will be the Market at Mid-City Farmers Market with nearly 60 amazing local vendors and a watermelon carving contest at the camp starting at 12 p.m. And earlier today, the Huntsville Area Poke Fest started, and it will be going on until 6 p.m. today. And also, it will be happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And both days they are at the Embassy Suites by Hilton Huntsville on 800 Monroe Street Southwest. And there will be Pokemon-filled days with comics, magic, sports cards, and more. There will be Pokemon character appearances, vendors, special guests, a DJ, face painting, balloon artists, and so much more. And this is a free admission event with giveaways happening every hour. There will be a vendor trade party tonight with free pizza and drinks. And there will be a Freedom Day at Fife Park tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. to celebrate the 4th of July with fireworks, inflatables, music, fun, food, and so much more. And another wonderful event happening right now until 6 p.m. is the TLC Recovery Rally. This event is celebrating the 4-year anniversary of the TLC Recovery House, and it is a family-friendly event with food, fun, fellowship, and a mission that goes far beyond the celebration. TLC Recovery House is a house for women in recovery from substance use, and resources are provided to help women succeed and become sober. The proceeds from today's rally will go towards funding and building the Josiah House, which will be a men's recovery house. I had the pleasure of sitting down with the wonderful Angel Jones, who is in long-term recovery, and she works closely with TLC Recovery House. She shared more on this powerful, fun, and safe space rally where there will be something for everyone to enjoy.
It's being at the event will help to convince someone that this is probably a better way of life, rather than isolating and continuing to hurt others or hurt ourselves. It's a good way to get outside of yourself, and there's no judgment, there's no pressure. You know, we just want someone to come and experience a good day with us.
I enjoyed sitting down with Angel and hearing about this recovery rally and all the wonderful things that TLC Recovery House is doing for the community. If you would like to go out to this event or support, it is going on until 6 p.m. today at Husky Park in Somerville. It is open for anyone to come out to. Angel said her and the founder of TLC Recovery House want to reach and connect with at least one person at this event. There is something there for everyone to enjoy, so go out and enjoy all they have to offer if you can. And to hear more about TLC Recovery House, the Josiah House, and just ways to support or be a part of it, the full 48 Now interview can be watched at WAFF under the digital shows tabs. And there are just some great events happening in the city this weekend and the surrounding areas to celebrate the 4th of July weekend. So be sure to go out, have fun, and check out some of these events happening. And also check out Huntsville.org's event tab and WeAreHuntsville.com's event calendar to see more events happening. You can also check out a list of 4th of July festivities happening in the Tennessee Valley area on our website's homepage at WAFF.com. That's all I have today for the 48 recap. Let's check out some of the Saturday snapshots people submitted today. So this photo was submitted by Larry Miller, and he said lake time with the fam. And I feel like this is so beautiful, perfect weather to go out and just enjoy the lake, especially after all the stormy weather that we've had lately. So this looks so fun, so refreshing. There is nothing like a fun day on the water. And I'm from Florida, so I've been definitely missing the beaches, but I have been enjoying the Alabama lakes. It's about the closest I'll get to the beach, so I've been enjoying that. So I hope you all are having a great time on the lake. And this photo was submitted by Andrew Hornbuckle, and he said fireworks at Gilliam Springs Baptist Church, and that is amazing. I love it. There's no better way to celebrate the 4th of July by being surrounded by great people and fireworks. So I hope you all enjoyed and will continue to enjoy some more fireworks throughout the weekend. And this photo was submitted by Janine Chilnot, and she said Key Cave on 4th of July, and this is down in the Lauderdale County area. And this is absolutely beautiful. I've never heard of Key Cave area since being here, but this is definitely now on my list of places to see, and these sunflowers are beautiful, the scenery is beautiful, and I'm loving, again, this warm and better weather than what we have been having lately. So thank you all for submitting these photos for Saturday Snapshots. I hope you and everyone else are having a great and fun and safe 4th of July weekend. And that's all I have today for the 48 recap. Thank you all for tuning in. And don't forget to tune into 48's Weather Extra segments. Our meteorologists go live every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Meteorologist Jeff Denoyers will join us here at 4:30 today for another edition of Weather Extra. And this is just another way to give you all extra insights on the latest weather forecast. Make sure to download our 48 apps and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channels so you don't miss any updates on the weather. And if you would like to keep in contact with me throughout the week, please be sure to follow my Facebook page at Tatyana White, WAFF 48. Take care, everyone, and please be safe for this 4th of July weekend. And I will see you all back here next Saturday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.